Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode 108. This I'm reviewing the 157th of the episode of the anime, which is called The Five-Leaf Clover, and the newest chapter of the manga, chapter 276, Boreas. And when I saw the trailer for next week, I will talk about that because that is getting me excited for next week's episode. This episode is mostly, how should I put this? It's a clip show. Yep, another one of these. Even though we just had one. Like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 episodes back, we just had a clip show. Honoring the fact at that point it had been 1 year since the pilot episode. Well, the initial first 2 episodes was like, really? And the fact that this episode starts with Asaka as a Gajo. He's basically the guardian of lightning of the Heart Kingdom. And he wants to spar with him like, okay, I want you to ask me some questions. First, tell me about your life up until this very point. And Asta the Sword tells an abridged retelling of the series, talk about what happened to the pilot, like how he basically, tried to propose to Sister Lily back in the pilot episode, the fact he got his grimoire, got a grimoire, mentioned the whole magical nights exam, basically, where sort of a brief thing where he took part, but it was almost a squad because he had no magic. But yeah, I'll take him anyways. They show him basically in his robe, him enjoying basically the various, basically some points in this series, like him getting his robe, like him going to the dungeon. This was actually the second arc of the series, where he met the Mars, met him. Did mention the fact that Yuno got something there too. Yeah. Met with the Wizard King. Does look like a free flashback of the attacking on the capital, and there's a brief thing for the Imanat Sun arc, basically, which is debut of Rebecca's family, and which was mentioned. A brief thing of Bridges Force, I got his Black Hosta power, and then we see that apparently Luck was not training with him today. Went to train with a different Guardian. Asta trained with apparently the Wind Guardian the day before, and today he trained with the Earth Guardian. And we see that everybody else basically is doing fine. We can briefly see Noelle training with Undyne, the Wind Spirit. And then the episode ends simply with Asa sparring with Ganjel, which is the second time they actually sparred. And you see that he looked like he's starting to develop a little bit more, a little stronger. Apparently, he can develop the ability to basically summon the sword to his hand by will without pulling out the book, which I thought that was interesting. And that's the episode. Basically, what I described is pretty much the entire episode, because about 90% of this episode was mostly stock footage. Though they do briefly show the actual fight they have, which is Force Lock, which I have got to admit, the footage here basically looks like they actually, even though they actually use similar footage they used back from the start of the series, but the actual first time Asta used the Black Asta mode, oh boy, excuse me, thank God they didn't go for that awful art animation style, which even when I reviewed the episode, what was it, about 2 years ago I reviewed it, back then it was atrociously bad. Animation wise, it was the worst thing in the entire series. Look how the whole episode wasn't like that, just that flight thing, which apparently, I don't know, maybe the same person worked on the awful episode from Naruto Shippuden. Yep. And next week's episode, oh boy, I am so excited about this one. What's going to happen next week? It looks like, though, we're going to be starting the current arc of the manga next week in the anime. I am so excited to see that. It looks like they're going to start with the first chapter of the arc. Because, how do I know this? Because we see Asta, excuse me, where he's surfing on a sword. We see briefly Noelle and Mimosa look like they're kind of like their new look. And we see Asta's new look as well, which I am so happy we're finally getting to this. It took a freaking long time to get to this. Because we've been in the animation stuff now for almost 30 episodes. 30, we've basically been through this. Most good episodes, though. The only really bad bit is the Devil Worshippers Vanishers as Worshippers arc. That arc was pretty bad writing wise, because it felt as though basically that they had to rewrite because the arc was received negative reception. But But damn, finally, we're finally getting to the canon stuff. Probably because the current arc is actually getting to its final act right now. That's probably the reason why now that finally get to it. Yeah. So yeah. Alright, now moving on to new chapter of the manga, Boreas. Chapter starts out with Yuna confronting one of the members of the Dark Triad. It's like, huh, you're here. How are you alive? With the power of Captain Bonch's spell. We're taking it back. That's not a lot there. And they begin their fight. It's like, huh, you stay home quietly, it's like longer. Then, of course, Logris basically is there too, battling him on. And it's a pretty intense battle. Of course, it looks like they take him to another dimension. And then, of course, Bell transforms into a new mode for next step of the spirit dive. The spirit of Boreas, basically, with the crown is not on his head anymore. I know and I'm sorry about the glare, but it looks like the crown is like completely around his head now, and he basically has got a big, huge battle axe, which looks amazing. Plus, I love the fact they even have the German cross on it, which that is so cool. It's a really cool effect, and I kind of wish my phone wasn't glaring right now because this looks really good. Like you gotta basically look up in the manga. See if I can do it. I don't know how to basically read the glare, but yeah. So he attacks it with this. He's like, huh, what was that? And it looks like though he hurts him. At the end of the chapter, looks like he stabs him with the top of the battle axe. Like you were talking to the wrong guy. I swear, you are loathly a poor loser. Wow. I gotta admit, that was actually a really damn good chapter. Yep. Interesting, though, that no focus on Us in this one. Just all about Yuno, which, kudos to the fact that we have this brief battle with him, one member of the Dark Triad, which I think is so cool. Yeah. I mean, I think the reason why they said they get this now, like adapting like this arc now in the anime, because like in the case with the reincarnation arc in the manga at that point, that was reading towards its climax, like during the last bit, like the last act of a particular arc. That's why they decided to adapt at that point. Kind of the same thing with this one too, where they already start adapting. They're basically going to start from chapter 229. Now this arc has been going on now for quite some time. I would say for almost 60 chapters. Yeah, you can kind of say this has gone on for a little over a year, this arc. I would say, let's see, 50, that would be about 68. This is 76. I think this arc is officially going now for 58 chapters, so just barely like a little over a year, and now we finally get to adapting it. I'm really hoping the anime does not adapt this arc too quickly. I really hope not. I hope they take their time and actually add some stuff to the actual arc in the actual anime itself. I personally would love it, especially since there's still a bunch of story you can tell with this one. And yeah, it's interesting though we get to this training arc that we've been building toward for a long time, and it's over in 3 episodes. Wow. Though, let me tell you about the title of next week's episode. It's called The Beginning of Hope and Despair. Interesting. Yep, I love the fact we're following into this now. Though, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more time, but I did hear initially this season that they were going to start adapting this arc, but now they are going to adapt it. Okay? And as of right now, for the current arc away is the manga, it's already the second longest arc in the entire series. It's almost just as long as the reincarnation. I think that was like 80 freaking chapters. This one's only 58 so far, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna I'm hoping, really hoping, cross my fingers, they'll adapt this manga too quickly. Yeah, I would say if they want to do 2 chapters an episode, which they probably would do, I'd say they could probably get this done in 20 episodes, basically up to where they are right now, but I hope they take their time with this one. Yes, I really hope they do. Yep. So yeah, that's it for Single View. My next review is going to be Excuse me. Our review, well, tomorrow basically, well, today anyways, that I believe that One Piece, yes, One Piece actually dropped today. Yeah, the news dev episodes got released today, so I'm going to review that. I'll probably start watching it. I don't think tonight per se. I might get to tonight. It's possible. Hmm But maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye.